today, 50 years ago, disaster struck New York City. The Triangle Shirtwaist Factory fire in New York City on March 25, 1911, one of the deadliest industrial disasters in the history of the city of New York. This resulted of the fourth highest loss of life from an industrial accident in the US history. This factory were Max Planck and Isaac Harris, and the factory produced women's blouses, known as shirtwaists. The factory normally employed about 500 workers, and mostly were young women. Now go with our field agent, JP Martinez, who is with some very interesting people.
As you can see, I'm here in the factory, and we're here now going to interview some survivor from the fire who is still alive.
Hello, Juan Pablo. Nice to meet you. A lot of memories here.
Yes, indeed.
I remember the day of the fire, one of the worst days of my life, probably.
So, Fernando, we are here to ask you, what were the conditions like in the factory?
They were horrible. The girls worked all day, and when the fire appeared, there were no place to go. Everyone was stuck, and everyone started to affect. I had to jump from the ceiling because there was no escape. I barely survived. If you can see, come on, see me. I'm tired.
Yes, you look really bad.
Yeah, I look bad. Look at me.
Tell me, how are the workers here?
Well, they were mostly women, and they were around the age of 16 to 23, and they had a really low wage. They won around $7 to $13, and as you can see, that's not enough, and the conditions were really harmful.
Yes, pretty hard factory to work in.
It's a dark side of America.
Yes, so can you please tell us exactly what you lived in the 25th of March? Like, go us through your day.
Well, I start up like it's every day with a cup of coffee. I kissed my wife and went to work. It was a normal day, but it all went normally until I started to smell the smoke of the fire, and I started to hear screaming, and it was so fast that everyone started to scream and fire, and so everyone tried to go to the exit, but the exit was too small. And there was no way, there was no escape. So I had no choice but to jump out of the window, and I hit myself, but I survived. Thanks.
Wow, that's a miracle.
Yeah, but many died, and I remember this day as a really sad day for all the losses mainly.
Yes.
Thank you, Juan Pablo. Thanks for having me on the show. Bye.
So we here now have another person that was expectating the fire from outside. So he's a very special person, and he's gonna tell us how the fire impacted society.
Whoa.
Come on in.
Hello, JP.
Hello. So Luis, how were you that day? How did you live the fire?
Well, I was walking down the street, and then I saw the building, and I heard everyone screaming, and there was like a big crowd surrounding the building. And I just looked up, and there were raining girls, like jumping all over the place, falling and dying, like horrible, man. Really,
Yes.
really young girls on the floor, dead.
Wow, that was a horrible accident.
It was.
So Luis, how did you feel that the fire impacted society, or what changes did it make?
Well, this fire helped the growth of the International Ladies Garment Workers Union, which was a great benefit for the workers, mostly girls, for the next few years, and they protected their rights as workers.
Yes.
And everything began to get better after this. It was a great example for how things were not right in that time for the workers.
Yes, pretty bad factory to work in.
Yes, it was.
Nice to have you.
No, thank you, JP. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. So we are done with the interview, and we're back to Josian.
Very interesting. Definitely the very dark side of America. But thanks to this, we moved to a brighter side of America. So good night, everybody.